Saturday night perimeter walk. I did a perimeter walk last night, but I had coconut oil on my fucking hands and got all over the lens. It looked like some, looked like I was doing a student film or something. It's too bad too, because I did a whole thing about the healing stones over there. But that'll be the second video I made about the healing stones I couldn't use. Because the first one I had kind of a meltdown about the way they're trying to tie the ancient healing stones here, or what they used to be known as this, well, the wizard stones, even though there's no Hawaiian word for wizard. I think that's just what they were called by tourists or something. But yeah, they were brought here ages ago. There's this Hawaiian folklore story about these hermaphrodite giants that brought them here in the long ago, in a time before time. And yeah, these hermaphrodite giants, they said they were from Tahiti or something. I'll have to look at that. Or Haiti? I don't know. But at any rate, because they were half man, half woman, the local museum, the Bishop Museum here, is trying to make it into like a transgender shrine. Their thinking, right, is, well, there's, I watched this at the museum. They had a few programs about this. Video tube. On YouTube, they had some videos about, they're doing an exhibit on them. And that's how I learned about these things. I've walked by them for years, had no idea what they were, because they're just some fenced-in rocks. But there are these ancient stones that were excavated from Kalakaua, I think. What it was is these three genderless or mixed gender giant people came here a long time ago with great healing powers. And they just showed up one day, three of them, on the shores, and were like, oh, we're just gonna heal everybody. Whatever, we're purely here for altruistic reasons. This stuff happens in history all the time. Just shut up and let us heal you. So they started healing all the people, and then when they left, oh, they had to leave or go back to where they came from. They went up to, where the fuck did they go? I just said it too. Anyway, they got these bell stones. They excavated these big giant bell stones, and they imbued them with their healing power. And they said, you know, if you need to heal, you can just bring people these stones and it'll heal them. And then they just fucked up and left the stones here. The stones are giant. I'm sure I'll put them in other videos in the future or whatever. I've already did a couple on. So that's settled science. So these stones then bounced around. Instead of taking them and treating them like these sacred kind of objects or powerful objects, if indeed they were, you know, if they were, they so what happened was, what fuck is that guy talking about? I don't know. The best thing to do is ignore people. But the so if they were magical objects, why would they take them and hide them underneath a bowling alley for 20 years? That's what they were. They were on Kleghorn's land for a while. Yeah, it's weird. It's like, why would you do that to something that had great healing power? Like, why would you hide these things? I don't know. So anyway, they ended up here in Waikiki, and I guess they've been here for a while. So now the museum is has done they're doing a thing on them now. Obviously, it's an exhibit, but it's not an exhibit with the rocks, because obviously, you know, the rocks are here, they're really big. They can't really move them around. But Now what they want to do, what the museum wants to do, is make it a transgender shrine. Because what they're saying, people are saying, what they're saying is, I guess in the U.S., in the mainland, that there's a bunch of shrines to transgender people that are dead, I guess. I don't know about these shrines. I guess they have, the museum director was saying there are shrines all around the U.S. For transgender people, but unfortunately it's because they're dead. They're like, I don't know, memorials or something. So their idea was make these stones a living transgender person monument. So it's like, well, that one thing has nothing to do with the other. Because they're what they're saying is that these people that came with the healing rocks, right, since they were sexless, sort of, I don't think they had no genitals or they had both genitals. They're described as mahus, and mahus in Hawaiian lore mean like not a man, not a woman, and that's what the term's still used today, like for transvestites or trannies here, like, you know, they're called mahus. Like when you see like not like your modern transgender people. I'm talking like the good-looking ones, the ones that dress up and go to the clubs, and yeah, they like the kind of people I used to hang around with, and my band would do shows at clubs with. Not today's transgender guy, who's basically an incel that thought it would, if things would be easier if he put a wig on and started saying he was a woman, and that's why these guys are so aggressive, and they go to shut people down all the time, and you know, they're having people kicked off because they're dudes, and dudes are aggressive, you know. They're certainly not as cool as ye old transgender people, who we would call like trannies, or transvestites, or transsexuals. No, the transvestite was what I used to do. That has nothing to do with sexual organs. But yeah, I don't think it has anything to do with modern, I gotta kind of walk around here. What happened back then has nothing to do with the modern gay transgender person. And they're trying to tie it to that. Now, it'll probably get a lot of support here, because I know there's a lot of support for that kind of thing here. And I don't really care either way. I think it's just kind of lame that they're yet another piece of, before I say this, oh, well, you care about Hawaiian history. You only care about Hawaiian history because you hate fucking trannies or whatever. It's like, I'm making the argument for it. But no, these people have sold their history out and their culture out so fast from the fucking jump. And that's up to them. I don't care, whatever. It's not my culture. But I hate when the beast does that to anybody. You know, whether it's people here on the islands or wherever it is, you know. You never want them to get a W. And I think there should be a W for the beast. Obviously, right? So, I think it's fucking lame. It's fucking lame. Bad shit. Gonna have a bad time. Pedal symbol. You see that a lot here. I've done too much on that. It's depressing. I don't like to talk about it. And there's like nothing you can do about it. If you complain too hard, they're gonna ban you. You know, I've already brought it up to the fucking line, I think, as far as talking about organ trade, child trafficking, and all that shit. You know, if I had like a big reach, I don't think I'd talk about it. You know, fuck that. Even though like having a reach doesn't really matter with some things. If you get the wrong set of eyes on you, you're fucked. I mean, you could have a dozen people watch your videos like I do, but all it takes is one of them to be the wrong person and you're fucked. You know? So yeah, I don't know. There's nothing else to say about it. It's just everywhere. It's big here. This is a hub for it. A lot goes on. If you keep your eyes open, look around, you see it. You know, I point you things out, and that's it. I mean, what you know, I feel bad because, you know, I'm called to God. I'm called to God. Come here. This is God. Get over here. You know, some of us are called by God to do things, to try to, you know, do good or whatever, or fight degeneracy. I don't know what the fuck we're supposed to do. But maybe, you know, so when you see stuff like that, you want to do something, but you really can't. I mean, there's no one to appeal to. There's no higher authority. Because the highest authorities in man's world are involved in this shit. Yeah, I guess there's a lot of Halloween stuff. Well, it's Friday night, right? Halloween's Monday. Yeah. I was spacing on that a little bit until I forgot about it until I saw that girl go out of that car back there. I don't know if I picked that up, but it was pretty crazy. Every year here, Halloween, I used to go with my friends on Halloween here, and just to sit around, you know, smoke some pot or something, and look at people. And when I was younger, yeah, when I was whatever, a long time ago, back when you know, you had women who wanted to dress a certain way, like all that's going on here, they'd pick a costume that would line up with that, like I'm a sexy nurse or, you know, something like that. Now it's just anything with ass out, you know. It's like, oh, I'm SpongeBob with my ass out. Oh, I'm a fire truck with my ass out. Oh, I'm fucking, you know, whatever. Everything just is that character with their ass, which is fine. It's funny. But it used to be they would try to find something that would fit in with the idea of having the ass out. But now it's just like whatever. I'm a helicopter with my ass out. I hear one going overhead. They're looking for Richard Bruce. Yeah, a lot of guys that do this kind of schizo video stuff. And I feel bad for the guys that are really being harassed. There's always helicopters involved. I guess I'm not doing good enough to get helicopters after me. Someday though, we can all dream. We can have our little dreams. Someday I'll get those helicopters following me home. Richard Bruce's shit's pretty good though. He's got a lot of cool shit on there. His lizard person stuff is pretty good. He has a lot of good clips from movies where he'll show just regular actors, not in any kind of, it's like a regular movie, and they'll be transforming on screen. You know, if you turn up the gain right on the fucking picture. It's kind of like what Florida Marquis does, or Roger and KC, where they reveal images of things by photo manipulation. And that's how you can see a lot of this stuff, because you're seeing other frequencies, because it's interfrequency. It's not so much interdimensional. Interdimensional can get kind of confusing, because dimensions in physics are different than dimensions in mathematics, and then and that gets confusing to people. It gets confusing to me, keeping it all straight sometimes. Not so much the concepts, but the wording. You know, it seems like I'll be talking about something and I'll watch someone else and we're both talking about the same thing, but there's one word off, that I'm using a different word than him, or he's using a different word than me. And it's like that little thing there. You know, we haven't developed a good way to communicate a lot of these ideas yet. As it's, you know, some of the concepts are new. Or at least new to the people involved in them, you know. As long as it's open, of course it's open. It's never... Alright, I'm gonna go look at Hot Wheels, because I'm a fucking child. Don't blame the teacher, blame the school.